Hey, what's going on, Bucks Nation? So, watching game 2 of the finals, man, and it's some plays, man, that is making me excited and then frustrated. So I'm on both sides of the fence right now, man. Shout out to Giannis, man. He made a great block on what should have been a 24-second violation, a shot clock violation, but refs ain't giving a shit right now. You know what I mean? I do notice that Giannis is shooting a lot of free throws. Oh man, sorry if you guys heard that, but I noticed he's shooting a lot of free throws, and the rest of the Bucks aren't. It's like Giannis is basically shooting all the free throws. I'm not really sure the numbers on it, but I'll go ahead and talk about that later on in the video. But yeah, so on this play breakdown, they took the Suns took a shot. We gave up an offensive rebound. The ball didn't touch the rim. And Giannis made a great block. He came out the game a little after that. I don't think it was fatigue. I think he just wanted to, check out the injury to make sure everything was okay. One thing I'm noticing, man, Jrue Holiday, he's gonna have to play better. The turnovers, he's playing a little sloppy on the offensive end as far as turnovers. I don't think he's living up to the one-on-one comparison or one-on-one matchup between him and Chris Paul. Because like I said in other videos, like these videos I'm doing, I'm stating that my opinions, and it's like some of these things are actually being shown in the game. For the Bucks to win this game, the backcourt has to be way more dominant, way more physical, way more aggressive. And it's going to come down to D-Book, CP3 versus Chris Middleton, Jrue Holiday, man. But we need to, I noticed, man, this offense, the offensive strategy, whatever you guys want to call it, whatever Coach Bud is cooking up on the offense, whatever he's doing in the kitchen, it just looks forced, man. I understand Giannis has offensive limitations, things he's still going to work on, because this isn't the finished product. But a lot of these other players that's on this team, this is who they are offensively. This is who they're going to be, and it looks like a lot of their offensive attempts, or just the strategy, just the way they perform in a system, it looks forced. You see a lot of forced passes, tip passes, turnovers, and then a lot of shots that aren't really deemed good shots. Like we were down by 8 early in the fourth quarter, and we shot 2 threes. Like we came down, ran a play for an open 3 for Connaughton. Yeah, I understand if he makes it, people are going to be like, oh, good shot, but it wasn't a good shot. Like we need to, if we just play great defense and try to do a little better on the rebounding end, without and just give up these threes for right now, we can win this game. But there's no reason, because we're not going to win the free throw battle. It's not going to happen that way. We have to win with the rebounds, and we have to stop thinking that the threes is the only way we can win this game. Stop shooting threes, especially if we're down. If you're down by 8 or less, you don't have to shoot threes, man. It's 8, 9, 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like, take your time, play defense. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens, man, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. It was just basically what it is, man. Like as I'm watching the end of the game, it's not even the backcourt of D-Book and Chris Paul versus Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton. That's a good matchup in itself, but it's another matchup within that matchup, and it's something that we're just not going to be able to do. Jrue Holiday, man, as much as I think he's an important piece to this run, because without him, I don't think we get this far. It's like if you look at Eric Bledsoe and what he did previously, Holiday is a big, huge upgrade over Eric Bledsoe, but Chris Paul's like Chris Paul is really solidifying that he's legit probably the best point guard in the country right now, and it's something that we as Bucks fans we have to realize, and we have to be okay with the fact that he's just going to get his against Jrue Holiday. It is what it is, man. It just looks like even defensively, he's imposing his will on Jrue Holiday. Like Jrue Holiday, man, if you look at his numbers, man, he'll shoot 6 for 21, and I understand he was probably doing that same type of performance against the Nets in the previous series, but it was Kyrie Irving that year, well, for a couple games, and then with the injury to Kyrie Irving and everything, I don't really know what it is. I think it's just like I said, man. When you see like a finished product and you see that product struggle, you have to look at the offensive scheme, the prognosis. Like, what is the main vision for this offense? Because it just looks like it's a bunch of ISO basketball, man. Or it's like a play that's trying to get an open three, and it's like, if we're down by 8, man, I seen it on 2 or 3 more possessions. We're down by 8 or less, and we're shooting threes, or we're running the play for a 3, and it's 7 minutes left in the game. It's like, I don't understand, man. And for a fan, it's definitely a struggle to watch this offense. But I do believe that in Milwaukee, on our home floor, they're a different team. They play with more physicality, more emotion, and the crowd, because we see it, man. Like, the crowd really helps this team so much, and that was my biggest toss up with the performance last year in the bubble. Just not having fans, man. It just hurt our team so much last year, not being able to play with the fans. But now it's just it's more about the rebounding, man. Like, I don't know what's going on. I think they might as well change this lineup up, because like I like Brook Lopez. I do think he's a key piece offensively. He got soft hands. He's able to finish around the rim, and he's the one of the main centers that reinvented his game. He went from a post scorer that can just post up and back to the rim, hook shot, post move. Like, he was a legit post scorer, and now he's been shooting threes for like the past 4 or 5 years, and he was able to stay in the league and become more aggressive. But I think with this series, man, I think they're going to have to either keep Giannis at the 5 and bring in Portis or something to that effect, or I think we're going to have to play smaller. That's just the way it's going to be, because right now with Chris Paul, his vision, we have to be quick, man. It's only one big man they have, and that's Ayton. I think Giannis can. We seen Giannis go 1-on-1 with Embiid. Embiid is a way more physical being, way more aggressive, way more skilled than DeAndre Ayton. So I think we have to lean towards the fact that the small ball lineup might just do it, because the plus minus, man, for Jrue Holiday this game, it wasn't good, man. I believe it was about -6, -4. And of course, Chris Paul positive +5, and it's frustrating, man, because we watched Holiday reignite even this team defensively, but just the overall offense and defense, we seen what he's able to do and how he's able to make an impact. But it just seems like in these playoffs he's struggling, whether he's not shooting as efficiently or it's turnovers. Like, I didn't even see his turnovers for this game, but it wasn't as high as previous. So I think he did a little bit I think he did better with the ball as far as turnovers, but the shot selection, man, or just he's not getting enough separation on some shots, and I think that's what's making them a little bit more difficult. And that's just credit to the Suns defense. Like the Suns are for real, and even before, like way before the playoffs even started, I was campaigning for Chris Paul to be a legit MVP candidate, because it was like this year was awkward. It was like real. It was like no clear MVP favorite, so it was just like a bunch of guys, and it wasn't like no main name like Jokic ended up winning. But that was something that I don't think any fan could predict. But it just shows how the league is transcended into a new direction, and it looks good for like the Suns if they're able to. Because Chris Paul, like, he's not that old, I mean, he can play for like another 2-3 years, maybe. But if they're able to capitalize on having him on this team, we can see them back in this same situation next year. But I'm not giving up on this team, man. Milwaukee, fear the Bucks, man, fear the deer. We're gonna come out way more hungrier, way more passionate in Game 3. Not saying it's gonna be easy. We definitely have to control the rebounds, man. Like, for the longest, Giannis had 12 rebounds. I think I don't think he got a rebound all in the fourth quarter, and I think his last rebound was like a couple minutes left in the third quarter. And I'm not knocking Giannis, because Giannis played a hell of a game with all his injury, with the nagging injury, probably the fatigue factor. Because, like I said, he missed those 2 games. That could have hurt him. Fatigue, like that's a blessing and a curse, because he's resting the injury, but he's still losing game shape. So I think it's when he bounces back, you're going to see a little bit of rust. You know what I mean? But I think going forward, we have to play with we have to play strict basketball. We can't just keep, because what our offense looks like sometimes, it looks like either the players don't believe in it, so they just run a lot of ISO, or the offense isn't good enough, and it doesn't matter how good the players is or how good they run this offense. It's going to turn out to be the same bullshit that we see game in and game out, and that's a struggle. It's not a smooth running offense, and that's one thing we need better in our breakdowns, man. Like, in practice, we need to focus on taking good shots, rebounding the ball, and we have to do better defensively. If we can bring that energy to Game 3, man, we can go ahead and end this series 2-1. And go ahead and try to sweep it out and tie it up before the weekend starts, man. Or before the weekend ends, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Let's go Bucks, man. Peace.